Hey, greetings everybody. Gleekon here again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. We got another little quickie here. As we get closer and closer to the end of the second chapter, this is what happens next. The Eredor crashed. As we saw from some artwork, the orcs probably saw it as some kind of weird astrological omen, or who knows, but I'm guessing they're mildly freaked out, if not in the very least curious. So we do know that one of the Naru turned dark and floated above Shadowmoon Valley. We know one died, and we have one left over. So stay a while and listen and see what the Council of Exarchs is. I don't think we have Exarchs yet, and I don't know what this council will quite be yet, although we've playing in the game, you can kind of know what they are. Since leaving Argus, Velen had received constant visions of the future from the Naru and the Holy Light, earning him the nickname Prophet. Yeah, the Prophet Velen, you've heard that. And as we said in the last episode, he's losing that power. Countless threats had been avoided because he'd seen them coming and guided his people away from the danger. Now the Naru could no longer lead the draenei, and Velen's injuries made his foresight unfocused, drifting between possibilities and certainties, which is good because if we had a player within the universe that could see the future, that's just, while it would be good from a perspective of, I don't know, the whole thing, you start to get into the element of time travel, and if you then avoid the future, like what would actually seeing the future would suck, because you like it'd be like a spoiler. You wouldn't be able to do anything about it. So where it says seeing the future and seeing possibilities is all you're really seeing is possibilities, or else what would the point be? He lost those powers because he shielded the Naru that were there from the attack by the Dark Naru. His visions had also grown frightening. When he touched the darkened Kara, he had seen into the mindset of the chaotic, evil creatures that lurked within the void. Not only could Velen see possible futures, but now he could see the void's desired futures. It was difficult to distinguish the visions of true calamity from glimpses into the void's dreams of a corrupted universe. Okay. Velen decided that it would be disastrous if he were the only leader among his people. His judgment was no longer without fault. Okay, so he feels probably like, to put that in not politically correct terms for him, he feels like he's going crazy. Velen formed a council of sages that would oversee different aspects of draenei culture. The first of these exarchs was Nael, the leader of the newly forged Rangari. She led her followers by example, spending most of her time in the wilds with the other scouts. The second exarch was charged with guiding draenei engineers, the artificers, in building armor, weapons, and settlements. So that's cool, and that's why I think they have such high tech. Like, that's got to be part of their society. Hataru was tremendously skilled, and he had already learned how to shape Draenor's raw materials. Among his first creations were Arcanite crystals, and they are going to make an arc. That's what they call that ship that they fly to Azeroth with. They served as conduits of arcane energy, which brought light and power to Draenei society, and also allowed them to build constructs to protect their homes from danger. And I think this is why they can be mages. Almost every race has the ability to tap into that arcane energy. There's very few that do not. The third exarch, Akama, was placed in charge of the Draenei Vindicators. Now, I think Akama, from playing the game, becomes the leader or one of the main Broken. As warriors of the light, Vindicators defended the Draenei from the dark forces that lurked in their new homes. And they're warriors of the light. So not only do we have warriors, but I think we're implying that they are essentially paladins, which Draenei can be paladins. The fourth and final exarch was Othar. The Genedar's Naru were either dead or slowly decaying, but some of their holy energies lingered. The Draenei had also recovered Dore's remains. They did not yet know whether the fallen Naru was dangerous or exactly how much of it had been consumed in void energy. It fell to Othar to study Dore and its kin, analyze them, and hopefully learn enough to communicate with the other Naru and Draenei beyond Draenor. Othar became the leader of the Shatari, an order dedicated to this cause. And the Shatari, so those of you that have played through and played the Burning Crusade, The Shatari are essentially their own party. They break off from the main draenei force. Their ends, their means, their goals are questionable. And while they are accepted into the greater society on Draenor ultimately, they're a faction that is outside. They're not part of the Alliance. You can join them as a faction, whether you are Alliance or Horde. So they are one of those two things that you choose to be aligned with in Warlords of Draenor. In Burning Crusade. So also, I think it's weird that they want to talk to their kin beyond Draenor. It will be good to have communications, but that's a slippery slope that can lead you to the Burning Crusade invading. That's probably what happens. They're probably the people that draw Sargeras in. They get some blame for that. So that's my guess. That's my prediction. So in a way, they're also the most likely to be the priest class. And because of them studying this Dore, the warlock class, because all of these things are various classes that the draenei can be. Okay, guys, another episode in the pipes, 5x5. Thank you, ladies, gentlemen, all listeners. I will see you on the next episode of Lore of Warcraft.